All right, so sir, can we start the session?
Yes, I think we can.
All right. So again, a very good evening to everyone. So, like, firstly, I welcome you all to this introductory session, or basically a strategy session for geology optional, right? For especially for Indian Forest Service means 2022, which will start from around 20th of November, right? So that is there, and in this session we will also introduce you to the crash course which we are offering at Planet Geology, right? So, like, before starting, I would like to congratulate you all again for clearing the most difficult stage of Indian Forest Services, right? That is the prelims. So believe me, you all, each one of you who have cleared the prelims is closer than you yourself think to get into this service, right? To get into this beautiful service, which is called as the jewels of the earth, right? Which is the motto of Indian Forest Services, right? So that is one thing. So, like, this is the schedule to start off. This is the schedule. So, like, today is 27th of September, and your first paper is on the 20th of November, right? That is English and the GK. And then I think you all, since you are here, you must be having geology as one of the optional. So that is on 24th of November. And then mostly a lot of you might be having this forestry as the second optional. So that is on 26th of November, right? Some of you might be having agriculture engineering, right? Someone of you even has, I think, chemistry as the optional, but I think more than 90% of you will be having forestry as the optional, right? So, like, this leaves you with around 50 days, right? 54, 55 days to this day, and you will have that 4 days. So we can say you have around 50 to 55 days, right? Which could be scary to a lot of you, because we know we have prepared optional for civil services in 7 to 8 months, maybe 1 year. Some of you might be having fourth, fifth attempt, sixth attempt, right? And still it is not coming out, right? The optional number is not coming out, right? And in that way there must be a doubt that in how 50 days we will manage it, right? So we will talk about it. So before starting, is there any question? Okay, okay. So before starting, Disha, you have any doubt? You are not audible. You are unmuted. You're muted.
Hello. Hi. This is Deshat. So, sir, my doubt was that कि सर एक is in this particular time frame geology possible हो पाता है सर?
Yes, we will. This is what this session is all about. So, like, what is, like, I'll discuss about all these things. Right, I'll discuss whether it is possible in 50 days, 55 days. We will give an overview. We'll talk about the course, right? All those things, and then we'll open it up for you to answer question, right? So please let
one
me
more thing, sir.
Please let me finish first.
Okay.
That then you can ask this question, right? So, like, firstly, just want to introduce Planet Geology to you all. So, like, there are two mentors. I am Mayank Malviya, and I have with me Lawrence Kanyan sir, right? So we both will be teaching this geology optional crash course to you, right? So, like, just I want to introduce you. So Lawrence sir is basically, he's an alumni of IIT Roorkee, right? So he was the brightest student of geology in his college, in his batch, right? And after his graduation, sir has served in some of the biggest multinational companies like Royal Dutch Shell as a senior geologist for about 3 to 4 years, right? After that, like, sir was also All India Rank 1 in GATE Geology exam, right? And apart from that, presently sir is in Canada. He is working there as a senior geologist in one of the oil exploration company. Apart from that, sir is very passionate about teaching. He has extensive teaching experience, right? Like, in for civil service and forest services itself, sir has taught about more than 350 students in last 2 years, right? So this is sir's experience and sir's background. And I am Mayank Malviya. I'm also an alumni of IIT Roorkee. I have appeared in Indian Forest Services interview thrice. I have missed the rank 3 times very narrowly. So whatever this talk is coming, all right, it is all because of that experience. So which I want to share, and also the mentorship experience which I have had in last 2 years, where we have mentored over 350 students, right? I have also worked in PSU for 4 years, as a geologist, right? So this is our background, right? And this is what the results which we had last year in Indian Forest Services, mainly based on geology, right? So like this, we'll come back to this later, right? So now the question which I think Desharth was asking, and it is not only the Desharth who asked this question, this is one of the most frequently asked question to us, right? So is it possible in 50 days, right? Is it possible to get a rank to manage maybe two new optional in 50 days, right? So all right, so like we'll discuss on it. So firstly, today the scenario is there are just around 1600, maybe 1800 people officially writing IFS mains, right? Sir, am I visible, audible? Because in one of my screen it is freezing. Is
No,
it all right?
it's perfect.
All right. So like there are always, each year there are always some student who skip forest services because of this thing itself, right? So I think forest services is more about, you know, courage and, you know, that leap of faith which you should take. So there are around just 1500 students writing mains. So that itself is a big thing, right? In civil services there were more than 15,000 people, right? The second thing is this year there are 150 seats, right? This is also unprecedented, which has not occurred in last, you know, many years, right? That is one thing. So it is possible. Yes, it is possible. It is possible because most of these people, more than 90% of these candidates, they will be starting now only, right? A lot of you might be having sociology, anthropology, political science, right? Maybe, you know, chemistry, and a lot of other optionals in civil services which are not there in forest services. So that is one thing. So like it is like a maybe 200-meter race, right? Everybody is starting at the same time. Whosoever can prepare intensively, keep calm, right? Can have the belief, they can get to the rank, right? So that is one thing which makes this exam unique, right? That is one thing. Second thing is that even there are just 50 days, a lot of you have written civil services means just recently, so you have the momentum, you have the wisdom of answer writing, right? You know what works for you, right? What is your answer writing speed, how you can present, right? So all those wisdom can be used, and these 50 days can be, you know, made up, can be, you know, you can work like a normal person work in 300 days, right? So that is another thing. And the most important thing is like there is a saying that if somebody has done it before, then you can also do it, right? So we have a lot of example where a lot of people like you who have different optionals in civil services, and they managed to get a single digit rank in forest services, right? So we can like say this is a quote: if someone has done it, then you can also do it. The second quote is if somebody has not done it, you can be the first person to do it, right? So I know this is pretty comforting. If you get some example from it, this is comforting, and like this is little bit, you can say it is little bit a daring kind of a thing, right? It is little bit daring. So I'll give you a lot of example where it will be comforting, right? So like this is the first example. These are the students from our last batch, from our last year's batch, IFS 2022, and they have got the rank, right? Of these, like this Durga Prasad, he got all India rank 29 in forest services. He also got a rank in civil services. His rank I think was 206 with philosophy optional, right? So you can see he was pretty serious. He gave civil services, and in 40 days time he prepared forestry and geology, and he got all India rank 29, right? Similarly, this Ramakant, he was also of the same thing. He was part of our crash course, right? Ankit, he also got a rank in civil services with I think political science or anthropology, I'm not very sure, but he also gave civil services, and he managed to get a rank in 40 days. He was part of our crash course. Dhruv was also part of our crash course. He also got the rank. Then similarly, Stalin, Raju and Rohit, Rahul, they were also part of our crash course. Apurv, he was the topper of geology. I think he got somewhere around 270 out of 400 marks. He was also part of our comprehensive course, right? So he didn't give civils last year. He was dedicated only for forest. Even Vinod, I think he also appeared in both the exams with different optional, and he managed to get a single digit rank, right? So these were some of the examples from the course itself, right? Varadraj, he got rank 2 last year, and I think he also prepared in this 45 days itself, and he got rank 2. He was part of our test series. He has given forest services earlier also, so he just part of the test series, and he got AIR too, right? There is this Gurharsh, the best example which we can give, right? So Gurharsh was part of our crash course last year. He was also selected. He was interview topper in civil services, and he was also topper in forest service interview, and he got rank 7 with geology and forestry optional. He has, I think philosophy or political science as optional in civils, right? So like there are people who are getting rank in civils as well as in forest with different optional, and they are managing this in this just this short burst of time, right? Then this is the biggest inspiration to have, which I can give to anyone. Like you can get as good as AIR1. Like this, he was also a friend of mine, Naveen Reddy, right? And see his marks. He secured 314 marks out of 400, right? A lot of time, a lot of people, if a good student don't even get this much mark in board examination, and he secured this marks in IFoS, and he was very serious candidate in civil services 2018. He gave with geography optional, I think. He is a friend of mine, that is why I know the details. So he gave geography optional just after the civils. Somehow he got to know that he won't be clearing the exam, right, based on his experience, and he gave his heart and soul, a very intense preparation, like very very good work ethics. So he mastered geology like no one else. He also, basically he fought the apne forestry ko bhi somewhere around 290, right, out of 400. That was also the year when UPSC was liberal in marking, but these are brilliant marks, right? And he was none other than AIR1 with geology and forestry optional in this time span, right? So like similarly AIR2 that year was our college junior. She got AIR2 again with the same thing, right? So why I am giving you this example is for inspiration. Like you asked whether it is possible. A lot of people, dozens and hundreds of people have done that. So there is absolutely no reason that you all cannot do it, right? So it is pretty much possible in 50 days, right? And you should make it a reality, right? That is one thing. Now, just to begin the preparation, Lawrence will take over after like couple of slides, and he will give an overview of syllabus of geology, what geology is all about, right, and all those things. So in the preparation, the rules remain the same, like CSE. In CSE, in optional preparation, there are two pillars of any optional preparation. One is the syllabus. You should stick to the syllabus, and another thing is you should like the boundary of your preparation should be the previous year question, right? The field of play is what is the field of play is your syllabus, right? And the boundary should be previous year question. So this is what we will also recommend, right? From wherever you cover, if you join the course or you don't join the course, whatever you do, you should stick to these two things, right? Stick to syllabus and stick to the previous year question. That is it, right? So that is thing. And if you'll see the syllabus of geology, like Lawrence sir, I said he will go through in detail, but like this is the syllabus. So like we will share this slide to everyone. So I have even counted the subtopics. So in total, there are around 120 to 130 subtopics in entire syllabus, right? Like there are 10 subtopics in general geology, right? So if you cover 4 to 5 topics every day, 6 topics every day, you can easily cover the syllabus in 25 to 30 days, right? Like mathematically speaking. So this is the syllabus. We'll share all this. Some topics, some has even lesser topics like this, right? Some has more topics. So we'll come back to this later. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing which I want to tell you to like in this preparation, to begin the preparation, you can watch this video. This video was recorded by Lawrence sir. Its name is Geology in 90 minutes, right? So this was actually for this video was actually for counseling purpose, right? Because a lot of people, they were not sure whether they should have geology or not, and all those doubts. So we have given a 90-minute. This is an ad. So you click Geology in 90 minutes. It is there on Planet Geology channel. You can watch this. This is a very good starting point, right? So you can do that. It will give you overview of all the 12 units of the syllabus. That is one thing, right? And then second thing, of course, when you will read it, don't read it like a beginner. Although you are a beginner, you use all your wisdom you acquired in civil services means, vis-a-vis note making, vis-a-vis mugging up, vis-a-vis all those things, right? So you use all those in maximizing your score, right? And just some basic view, and then I'll hand it to Lawrence sir. So like in geology, you should always remember that paper 1 geology is all about presentation, right? In paper 1 there are topics like general geology, like there is topics like geomorphology, right? You must have heard about these terms in general studies. In geomorphology you read about landforms, in general geology you read about volcanoes, earthquakes, right? You read about all those things. So everybody know about something about this, and so you should practice a lot of small diagrams, right? That is the thing. About the resources, we'll come back to it later. Now this is important point which I want to talk to you is about the dynamics, right? What makes it possible to cover geology in very less time, and how it is different from civil services, right? Like civil services forest services is also a very competitive examination, right? But you should realize that in forest, at least a lot of people, I don't have the statistic, but maybe around 90, more than 85% people, they prepare for forest services in only 40 to 50 days. In civil services, people prepare for months and years, right? So one thing is you don't have to go for perfection, right? Even imperfect preparation can get you a very good rank. That is one thing. Now second thing is, right, this is like the important thing. So when you will revise, if you revise it once or you revise it twice, it will have, or if you revise it thrice, 3 revision will have great impact than 1 revision, right? If somebody is just revising once and going to exam, and you are revising thrice and you are going to exam, your score could be double. It could be double, right? If they are scoring maybe just 150 marks, you could score 250 marks with 2 additional revision, right? So this is a key which you should understand, and you should work harder, right? So that is the thing. Now about the course, I just want to tell. So this is a crash course. And like here it is written that it is the best geology optional course based on the result which we had last year, right? So this course will have mix of pre-recorded lecture and live lecture, right? We will have some live lecture in maybe once or maybe twice a week, and on other days of the week we will release some pre-recorded lecture, right? That is the thing. And this course will start, Lawrence will talk here, it will start from 30th of September, right? So we will release something on 30th of September. What we will release, sir will talk about it, right? That is there. Also in this course, we have a private Telegram group. There we add all the students who are enrolled, and in that group we give mentorship support, right? We try to solve the doubts there. So we will be with you till you enter your examination hall, right? So that is there. Private mentorship support is there for geology, right? So this we will do. The overall duration of this course will be somewhere around 120 hours, right? It could be 100 hours also. It might be even 125 hours, something like that, but approximately it will be 120 hours. So you can plan accordingly, right? And like we both will be the faculty here. So this is the schedule. This is the schedule of the course. So I think Lawrence sir can take over and he can explain how we will be covering, right? And he can also maybe give you a very brief overview of the syllabus, right?
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mank sir. A very good evening to all of you. Yes, so today is 27th and we are having this intro webinar. Okay, so we'll give you like a couple of days, okay, just to think about and also just to research a little bit. Like Mank sir shared those 90-minute video, you can watch that, okay. Some standard textbook, for example, Bangar, you can just like skim through it, like what is in there, so that you start to get a feel of the subject, okay, what is out there. Other than that, I would want to say that this course is kind of like one-stop solution. So if you are going through the course, okay, you don't have to go anywhere else, okay, read anything else. This is just for you to kind of like have something in your hand and skim through, okay. Otherwise, everything that we will give you here will be like based on our experience of teaching and also based on things that we can think that we think are most important for you, okay, which you can learn during this time frame, okay. So just get into the rhythm in those 2 days, and 30th, like those who will enroll in the course, we will release the very first topic, which is general geology. General geology is a little bit like what you have already studied as part of general studies. So things such as plate tectonic boundaries, the structure of the earth, internal structure, core, mantle, crust, all these things I think most of you already understand or have heard about. Okay, earthquake, seismicity, okay, seismic zonation of India, for example, you might have studied. Okay, so different scales of seismicity are there. So all those things we'll cover here. So I'm sure like most of you would have understood basically all the terms that are written here in the syllabus. Most of you would already know that part. Okay. Also, like if we move back to the calendar, okay, so after we have covered this general geology part, okay, so initially we have planned it in such a way, okay, it is very important for you to get momentum, okay, in your preparation. We don't want you to be stuck in the very beginning of the course itself. Okay, so to build that momentum, it is important that you cover topics quickly, and that is why we have used these topics, geomorphology and environment, because these two topics, geomorphology, which is about landforms, how landforms evolve, and some processes that are associated with it. So most of you, if you have followed GC Leong, if you have even heard about it, so you also heard about like geomorphology. So I think it has like good combination with or good overlap with the general studies. Okay, so these basic concepts of geomorphology we will cover here, and then please try to go through these. Again, you don't have to do research in this. Okay, important the things like that you would remember. Okay, so for example, cycle of erosion, deposition, glacial landform, okay, aeolian, fluvial, so rivers and all these things that you studied. Okay, so those things will be covered here. Okay, the next is environment. Also, this I think most of you, this is a very hot topic anyway in civil services. So here it will be a little bit okay related to, for example, pollution, water pollution. There may be some like geological angles to these as well. Okay, something will be regarding radioactive waste disposal, all those things. Okay, coastal hazards, so all those things. So you have some idea about this, so you will find it easy to cover. And also the thing is, don't think that something is easy so you should cover it leave it for the last. No, study it, complete it. Okay, in the start this will give you confidence. Another thing is, its syllabus coverage will be same as the most difficult subject. So for example, Igneous Petrology paper 2 is considered hardcore geology subject. Some may find it a little bit difficult, but overall I would say its weightage will be same as environment. Okay, so these are very important. Okay, so once you have built this momentum, then we will move on to a hardcore geology subject, that is mineralogy and crystallography. This is part of paper 2. Okay, but we will cover it in the start because this is kind of foundation of a lot of subjects in geology. So mineralogy and crystallography is about basically study of minerals and their crystal structure. Okay, so this is considered to be a hard subject. Okay, so I would say last year we just covered it in live classes over the weekend. So please go through this. It is not very hard. Okay, you have to be very strategic about it, how you prepare. So you can give one day to crystallography, next day to mineralogy. Okay, so this subject is basically important because first of all, rocks, geology is about study of rocks. So those rocks are made up of minerals. So the subjects that you will study later on, okay, Igneous Petrology, Metamorphic Petrology, even things such as economic geology, so they will all be sedimentary petrology, all be based on this mineralogy and crystallography. So that foundation is needed. The next subject will be geochemistry, which is just like continuation of mineralogy and crystallography only. So a lot of things that you will study there, you can directly study in geochemistry, which is a very easy subject. Okay, so you can finish it in one day. Next, and if you have like geochemistry, trust me, is very simple. Last year they asked about what are types of chemical bonds. They ask it like every 2 years. So type of chemical bond, ionic bond, covalent bond, if you have studied that only, you have to write over there. Okay, this year they asked about thermodynamics, simple concepts. Okay, what is Gibbs free energy definition, those simple things. Okay, the next topic after that we will release is structural geology. It is part of paper A. In structural geology, it can require some imagination in some parts, but I think some things you would have studied as if you have like geography as an optional, or even in general studies, things such as fault, fold, these things you would have studied. Okay, so if you've studied just like mountain belts of the world, fold mountain belts, at least you have heard of that word. Okay, so it is about structures which form inside the earth. Okay, one very simple example is fold and fault. Okay, and then hydrogeology is all about water. Okay, flow of water in ground, storage of water in ground, types of springs. Okay, so all those things will be covered in hydrogeology. Also related to basically chemistry of groundwater, pollutants and all those things. Okay, next is mining geology. So basically it is, if you find mineral deposits inside earth, you have to take them out. Sorry, yeah, I missed engineering geology. Engineering geology is a applied part of geology. So here you will cover basically in engineering geology things such as what are geological considerations if you are constructing a dam, if you are constructing a tunnel, let's say in mountains. In Himalaya we are constructing so many tunnels these days, so you have to study those areas, their geological characteristics. Okay, whether it is feasible or not. So all those things are part of engineering geology. And rocks have certain properties. So if someone is of civil engineering background, they will find it basically a lot related to geotechnical engineering. In civil you would have studied, but it is like very limited syllabus. Okay, something which you can cover in half a day. Then there is mining geology, is basically all about exploring for mineral deposits and for mining them. Okay, how do you concentrate the ore? So usually one numerical question which is very easy, just needs like ratio, proportion. If you can do those things, multiplication and division, you will be able to solve that. Okay, so yeah, mining geology will be about exploration and also types of mining methods, taking those out of earth minerals. So those things will be covered in mining. Igneous petrology is combined with metamorphic petrology in the syllabus. So igneous petrology, igneous rocks are the rocks which will form from crystallization of magma, which is basically molten rock. So that is what you cover in igneous petrology. It is considered a little bit hard subject. I'm not really sure why, because if you go through the course, okay, because we have compiled a lot of material in very simple form for igneous petrology specifically. There are like 10 rock types, for example, which students you cannot find. You search like for entire 50 days just to find content on those 10 types of igneous rocks, you will not be able to find it. So we have gone through that pain of compiling that material for you, so that igneous petrology you can cover it very quickly. You will have no hard time in covering this topic. Okay, there is a topic here, phase rule, phase behavior. Okay, so that phase behavior question, okay, is usually there are just two questions which are asked. Okay, some students who are from non-geology background, they find, even from geology background, they think that it is a little bit hard. It is a very simple topic. Okay, last year even in general studies there was question on pressure cooker. What will you do? Increase the weight of the lid, increase the flame to make cook food faster. Okay, so we actually had covered that topic as part of our comprehensive course in phase behavior only. Okay, so those who are in geology, they could attempt that question. Okay, so igneous petrology will study those rocks, easy. Paleontology, I would say, is a little bit extensive syllabus. Okay, for forest especially. For CSE the syllabus is limited actually. For forest they have given extra topics. Okay, so again you have to be very strategic in it. Okay, so we will give you like few preparation days for this as well, and that is why we are covering it in live class. So even hydrogeology, paleontology, these two topics we will be covering in live class, because I feel like it needs certain guidance on how to approach it, how to cover it in limited time. And paleontology, if you are not aware, is study of fossils. Okay, so living organisms which have lived in geological past. So when they die, a very small proportion of those organisms which die, it gets buried inside rocks. So for example, let's say there is river sand, so it is buried in those sediments and then it is preserved. Okay, sometimes it is preserved, not always. So once it is preserved, we can look at those fossils, we can study those fossils. So that is all about paleontology. Okay, so we'll cover this in live class. Metamorphic petrology is basically when a rock, pre-existing rock, is buried to deep levels under high pressure temperature, it is metamorphosed. So for example, like you have bricks or clay pots which are fired, okay, and then they change. Okay, So bricks, for example, they are made from clay. So when they are put under fire, it forms a hard brick. So that is kind of metamorphism which is artificial in nature. We are carrying that out. So similarly in earth, rocks can get buried to deep levels, and then they, under high pressure temperature, they change to metamorphic rocks. So we will cover that. It is also very limited syllabus. You have to be a little bit strategic about it, not very extensive. Usually it is considered much easier than igneous petrology, but igneous petrology is also pretty easy. Next is sedimentary petrology. So igneous and metamorphic are combined in syllabus. Sedimentary is standalone. Okay. Also, if you have studied geomorphology, okay, so a lot of things, those sedimentary facies, fluvial, okay, meandering rivers, so delta, types of deltas, you will find it a little bit overlap with geomorphology part. Some will be extra study of sediments, but it is also an easy subject. So sedimentary rocks, if you pre-existing rock will get weathered, eroded, so it will be carried, and those sediments will be deposited somewhere. So from sediments, they will become sedimentary rock, okay, after a long period of time. So those are sedimentary petrology. And then some like application based remote sensing is an easy topic. Okay, there are just like 2 chapters in NCRT. If you cover those, you will cover 70-80% of the syllabus. It is not even one NCRT book, it is just 2 chapters of NCRT. Okay, and we have been giving that in all our courses. And if you look at this year's CSC question on types of aerial photographs, for example, it was directly from that NCRT 2 chapters only that we always recommend. And then we will give additional content whichever is required for it. But remote sensing is just like you will have getting data from without touching the object itself. So it will be based on aerial photographs which you can take from aircraft or from satellite imagery. So things such as Indian remote sensing satellites, IRS, etc. You would have even heard of these terms. So in general studies. So these topics are there. In addition, there is GPS. I think most of you would have prepared answers for GPS already as part of your general studies. Okay, GIS, all those things will be there. So it will be easily covered. Okay, you will not have much difficulty. Next, last 2 topics left are stratigraphy and economic geology. So stratigraphy will need a little bit of mugging. Okay, and stratigraphy, again, you have to be a little bit strategic on this. Okay, so please ask for help, ask as many questions as you want in stratigraphy, but again you have to strategize in this one. Okay, because stratigraphy can be there are 2 volumes of book, Indian stratigraphy, Indian geology. Okay, so the actual name of the topic is Indian stratigraphy in UPSC. It is Indian geology. So many times 2 volumes of books will be there on Indian geology. So vast, there is no limit to it. So very strategic. Mnemonics, Mayank sir will tell you like what mnemonics to use over there, how to memorize those stuff. Always in stratigraphy, it is important to go through previous year questions. Okay, so that you know like what parts are important. Economic geology, okay, is about, so just like your mining geology. Okay, mining geology is will deal with like processes, how you explore ore deposits, how you mine them. Economic geology is more about it says it has less to do with economy, okay, but actually it has to do with basically ore deposits. Okay, now they are of economic nature. Okay, so ore genesis, for example, I think how ores form. Okay, so you would have heard about like gold deposits in India. Kolar gold mine is there. Okay, where do you find copper deposits in India? You would know all. I think you would have heard these terms before. Khetri copper deposits are there. Okay, so these kind of deposits, how do they form in earth? What is the process? So this economic geology will kind of be combination of whatever you have covered until now. That is why we have kept it for the last. So all the processes that you study in igneous petrology, metamorphic, sedimentary, they will be combined here. Those processes will operate to form these mineral deposits. Okay, so your even classification question comes. So classification will also follow that kind of scheme. Igneous, magmatic related, sedimentary related. Okay, so by 25th we will deliver all the content, so that you will have almost a month after that to prepare for it. If you count those additional days that you have, so you will have almost a month to just revise this part. Okay, so you don't have to like stick like to each day. It is important if you can do that, that is good. We want to release it early so that like you have time, but we would say like if you can stick to the sequence to certain degrees, that would be helpful, because sometimes you need some concepts which are foundational for subsequent topics. For example, don't study economic geology in the start. You will not understand it. Things from stratigraphy don't study before sedimentology and paleontology. Okay. All right. Yeah. That is about the syllabus.
All right. And also, like, am I audible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So also, the course will not end here. We will release everything by 25th of October, and after that also we will give you support in the form of some revision videos, right? Some memorization videos will be there, right? We will be in touch in the Telegram group. That will be there. We will try to give you some handwritten previous year question solutions directly to mug it up and reproduce in the exam. So this is how, like, there will be there. So there will be mentorship till 26th of November and even beyond that, right? Do not worry about that. So this is how we will release. Also, there will be some flexibility in the course if somebody is there, like, who want to get maybe access to some topics even earlier. So we do have some provision for that. We have last year course, right? Last year course was like very, very successful, right? Last year course we had somewhere around 62 students in them, and out of that around 36 37 students got interview call, right? So like last year we had more than 55 to 60% conversion ratio from crash course to IFoS interview, right? So we'll try to better that this year, right? So that is there. And apart from that, we have some, now we'll open it up for the question and answer session here, and then we will end the interview, right? So I just want to tell you that this is one-stop solution for geology, right? There are KM Banger, right? There are some notes of like a lot of toppers which people keep referring. We'll include everything here, right? You don't have to go anywhere else. Also, I just want to tell you that videos are not downloadable in the course. Also, notes are generally not downloadable, right? This is generally the law, but sometimes we feel that we want to give something to you for download. We will give that, right? But generally notes are not downloadable. This is because, like, we want you to make your own notes, right? Sometimes we will give you notes on certain topics which are handwritten notes, very crisp. You just need to copy them, right? Nothing more than that. So you should not just keep taking print out and pile it up. So that is one of the things. Another thing is that like last year we had our course, so a lot of students got rank, right? Like Apurv Dikshit, he got AIR I think 11 last year, right? So he was our classroom student, right? So he has shared his notes. So you can use those notes. We will share those in the syllabus course also. So they are basically notes for our slides. When you will see the lectures, all those notes will be very easy to understand for you, right? So all that support will be there. So this is about geology, right? So you in the website you will have all those information. If you have any other doubt, even after the session, you can ping me on this number on Telegram, right? That is one thing. We also have our Telegram group, open and free group. You can join this. There also we update a lot of things. For all those who join, there will be a private group also, like I mentioned earlier, private Telegram group. There we will give you mentorship support, right? So this is all about the course. Apart from geology, we also have forestry course this year. This is just a 50-hour course for forestry, and this course is taken by last year's selected student, Apurv Dikshit, AIR 11, right? So we also have this on the Planet Geology website. So now we will open it up for you to ask questions. If you want, you can ask whatever question you want. We'll try to answer them, right? Yes, Shivam, please ask whatever you want to ask.
Sir, I just wanted to know, since the video are not downloadable, are they rewatchable? Suppose we want to...
Yes, they are rewatchable. There is no limit on how many times you want to view them. There is no limit on anything, right? But just do not share your account, right? Sure. That is the only thing. We do have AI inbuilt in our website, so it can track it down. We don't have a limit for even, you can use even 2 or even 3 devices. That is not an issue. You can watch as many as time you want. That is also not an issue, right? Just do not share the link. Other than that, no issue.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Sumit, please ask.
Sir, I wanted to ask about answer writing. Like, to what extent we have to practice answer writing? Like, is it like civil services or
no?
How is it?
Maybe I can add, sir. Right?
Yes.
So, like, see, you are already coming out from a very extensive. Have you written civil means this time?
Yes, sir.
ओके, तो अभी इतना आप लिख के आ रहे हो ऑलरेडी, और कितना लिखोगे, राइट? सो फॉर फॉरेस्ट सर्विसेज, लाइक आई सेड यू कि 1500 लोग लिखेंगे एग्जाम, उसमें से भी लाइक 1300 लोग ऐसे होंगे जो फर्स्ट टाइम पढ़ रहे हैं सारी चीजें, राइट? तो आपकी जो भी फाइट है ना, योर फाइट इज विथ सिलेबस कंप्लीशन. जस्ट कवर द सिलेबस, try to revise it 3 times, right? Mug it up. It is more than sufficient. Plus in civils, like you might be having, you had humanity optional or something, right? So वहाँ पे there is a scope of articulation, right? बहुत articulation, there are बहुत सारे लोग लिख रहे हैं. यहाँ पे it is science, right? Geology is science. Whatever they are asking, you just have to write it down, right? There is a content, fixed content for each and every topic. You have to just mug it up and you have to reproduce it. बाकी आंसर राइटिंग के बारे में वी कीप टेलिंग यू, राइट? लॉरेंस सर कवर्स अ लॉट ऑफ पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस, so he will keep telling you how to write, what to ignore, what diagram you need to use. So that is intrinsic part of geology. As such, what test series या आंसर राइटिंग पे अभी से परेशान होने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, because just syllabus completion is the key, right?
Yes, because questions, for example, like types of meteorite and its types, it is asked like 90% of the times, or I would say sometimes even 100% of the times this question comes in exam. So now you don't have to like a lot to like worry about framing the answer. If you know like there is a iron meteorite, stony meteorite, iron stony meteorite, okay, one few lines definitions you write, so it will be done. Similarly, types of plate tectonic. So it is a little bit you can think of, there is some objectivity in many areas, so there is less scope for variation. And as Mayank sir said, your competition is also with people who will not come with answer writing practice.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? कुछ भी पूछना you can ask now regarding course in general strategy. Yeah, Deshat, now please ask.
सर जो रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो लेक्चर्स होंगे उनके करस्पॉन्डिंग नोट्स भी जो नॉन डाउनलोडेबल होंगे वो भी अपलोड हो जाएंगे ना, जस्ट इन केस वी आर मिसिंग समथिंग?
Yes.
कभी कभार होता है कि रनिंग नोट्स लेने में देयर इज सम कांसेप्ट हम लोग पूरी तरीके से गलत समझ जाते हैं.
Yes, we will give you. Sometimes क्या होगा कि we also understand कि टाइम का क्रंच है, आपको फॉरेस्ट्री भी पढ़ना है, so there might be some topics जिनके हम मे बी वीडियो लेक्चर ना दें, right, based on our wisdom, but almost notes तो almost हर टॉपिक का मिलेगा आपको, right, to mark it up.
Right.
And then videos also हमारे पास we have for all topics. Okay, it is for your benefit. We think like sometimes you can cover a topic in 15 minutes from slides. Why watch a video of 1 hour for that? Okay.
Yeah, sir. So at times it is that written content is easy to understand.
Yeah, those will be there. In fact, not
Yeah.
just like class lectures which are annotated. Okay, those will be uploaded.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
which
Thank
are
you
also
very much.
annotated. Okay.
Yes, Dharmendra Rai, please ask.
Sir, will you give any material, value addition material for geology? Like
What is value addition? I didn't value addition material मतलब
like if you are taking lecture, in that lecture do you give any PDF like?
Yes. We teach using PDF. Sometimes the notes will be in the form of like PPT slides. Sometimes they will be in the form of handwritten itself, right? Directly tailor made to for your consumption and directly replicating in exam. So we give content on each and every topic of the syllabus, right? Like Lawrence has said, we also have a comprehensive course in that we cover geology in 270 hours. So we give each and every thing and nothing comes out of the thing, right? But for crash course, we will try to trim it down, right, to fit in the time period which is available. So we will give, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And another value addition material will be some indicative solutions to previous year questions. Okay, so it's not like directly in answer form, but let's say you find a certain question. Okay, you are going through previous year questions. Okay, I won't say like you should just revise from that. Okay, we say like classroom content is of much better quality, but let's say you have certain question, okay, you find in previous years was asked, okay, and you want to quickly refer back to the content related to it. Okay, so you want to see what you will write. Okay, it will not be like direct answer form like what you write in exam, but there will be some content related to it, so you can go back to there and very quickly view that. But my first recommendation would be to go through classroom content and video lectures because they are of much higher quality. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Okay. And you asked this preparation day. Preparation day मतलब कि this is the day where we might not release anything new, right? जो release हो गया उसी को consolidate करिए, right? You revise it. So this is kind of a break day. Break day is a misnomer. It is a kind of self-study day, or not self-study day. You cover this because अभी easy लग रहा है on paper, but covering mineralogy and crystallography in one day is a no mean task, right? You will have you will need multiple days. So that is the meaning of preparation day. Right? Anything else related to the course, related to geology strategy, right? For especially those who are writing forest mains in November.
Hello sir, I have a question. This is Mahadev.
Yes, Mahadev, please.
What is the total number of hours this video how many number of hours we have to spend to complete this classroom videos apart from the notes you give? In total, because I'm a working professional, I'm professional. I'm just thinking of like managing both, right? That's why the question.
Mike sir,
I think I think if you want to, I mentioned that it should be around 120 hours, right?
yeah, somewhere around that.
There will be an option you can watch it in 2.5x, 1.5x, 2x also, right? But I think this is something. Also, like if you're working professional, you need to have some kind of a break, right? Because like I also gave 3 IFS mains, I gave 3 IFS interview, and I was working in a PSU at that time. So
Yeah.
like I used to give prelims with the job, but between the prelims and the mains, like I definitely, in my opinion, you should be having at least 1 full month of preparation, right? Even more than that, because your other competitors, they will be giving full time, right? Somebody might be in Delhi, somebody at home. So it is about relative competition. You will have to give more time. So you will have to find some ways to get some extra leaves and prepare intensively, right? But about the course, it is 120 hours, something like that. Geology course. In forestry, we will cover it in 50 hours. It has already been covered, but geology, it will take around 120 hours, right?
Okay,
You can-
thank you, sir.
I think somebody else also raised the hand. Okay. Anyone else? Any other doubt about the course, about geology in general?
Yes, Udayan.
Sir, I wanted to ask whether there will be any doubt session, like if I am reading on my own at some other time, not in during the class or during the live session. So will I get any scope of clarifying my doubts via call or something?
See, because there are like so many students, okay, so of course, first of all, I would say first your way should be to just ask it on Telegram group, okay? We have private Telegram group for that. Because sometimes, let's say some topic is covered by me, I am in Canada, okay, so time zone is also different. So first I would say is ask on Telegram. In between, okay, during those preparation days, okay, sometimes we will schedule those and also towards the end, we have like 1 whole month, we will schedule doubts classes. So doubts will always be there. Yes, you can call also, you can call Mayank sir or me, okay, just like sometimes there may be like, I can't promise I will always respond in time because of just like this time difference. It's 12-hour time difference now, okay. So but yeah, Telegram group is I think the best place as a start, okay, if you find any doubt, any problem, okay, for you to get quickest response, okay, that is the thing. There will be regular doubt classes also, okay, in between, where we will have basically doubts from all of you. Let's say it is a 1.5 hour, 2 hour session where you can clarify all your doubts. So those kind of things will be there, okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, Indumati, please ask.
So my doubt is, we are going through the lectures, and one of my friend who's attending the full length course, he said like you can refer to Apurv Dikshit's notes. So is it possible that I go through the crash course, I listen to the classes and use his notes and not make running notes?
Yes, I think that will be a very good strategy. Even we will suggest this strategy because one thing is that Apurv's notes are Planet Geology's notes, right? He was our full course student, so he has written all our slides and all those things. So that is a good strategy. If you will study Apurv's notes independently, I don't think आपको बहुत कुछ समझ में आएगा. You won't be able to understand much. But after going through the classes, you will study his notes. They will be mighty helpful, right? So that would be a good strategy. But I would always say that to get a very good rank, very good marks, what you can do, you can go through the lectures. You can along with his notes, right? Then you revise these notes and your handwritten whatever you have written there once or maybe twice. But after that and before exam, in my opinion, you should have your own handwritten notes. So when you have seen the classes, you have seen the notes, you have also written something, on those notes. Then making notes will take very less time, right? Directly, if you will make running notes, they might take a lot of time. But finally, you must have your own handwritten notes. This is an advice, and like this
Something like a summary sheet
yes,
of
yes.
keywords.
Yes. We will share these notes formally also in the course. Do not worry, right? Okay. So I hope you are all come with the dates. We'll release first lecture on 29th or 30th of September, and formally like 1st October was the date when we plan to begin the course, right? Anything else? The website, the link for the course, like it is there in the website. So you just have to go to planetgeology.com. You'll scroll, you will get this course, geology optional crash course, right? We also have a geology optional comprehensive course, so that is not needed for if you are writing forest means couple of months, 50 days later. So we have this is the comprehensive course here, right? So you this is the course we are discussing, crash course geology optional, and right then you can join it directly from the website, right?
Yes. One final thing, Mayank sir, if you can go to the last slide, because you have this build-up days coming up. Okay, so if you are studying. Okay. So there are some things in geology, okay, which are very important. Okay, very basic stuff that you should understand. Okay, so just Google. Okay, it is kind of like an exercise for you. Okay, so these words: ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, felsic. Okay, see what shows up. Okay, I'm not telling you that this is the topic and you study under this. I'm giving you keywords, see under what topic they fall, okay, and understand their meaning, okay, because these concepts will be used many times in mineralogy, in petrology, in economic geology, okay. So terms like this, what is basic acidic, okay, and because you will be studying mineralogy, so some minerals, some of these names you would have studied as part of general studies also. Where are they found in India? Okay, for example, where are mica deposits found in India? So these names you would have heard. So just go through what is written on Wikipedia page. You are not required to memorize anything, but it will kind of build that sort of in your mind. So
and I think these nobody can say that these are fully alien to them, because even in geography NCERT, I think 11th or 12th standard, this Bowen reaction series, this is somewhere mentioned, right? So these are all minerals in Bowen reaction series,
yes,
right? So it would that is not that difficult.
Yeah, so Bowen reaction series, just study about it. Okay, look just maybe on YouTube, study Bowen reaction series, these minerals. Okay, similarly these rocks which are formed. Okay, so for example, you have that sequence: mafic, ultramafic, intermediate, felsic. So these minerals are also oriented like that. Okay, the ones on top are mafic, ultramafic, the ones at the bottom are more felsic side. So minerals will combine to form a rock. A rock will be made up of many minerals. So for example, if you have ever seen granite in kitchen, okay, that is an igneous rock. It may not be granite technically by as per geologists, but if you see that, you will find many different kinds of minerals over there. Okay, so these minerals will form these rocks. Okay, so these rocks are also oriented like this, from ultramafic, mafic, intermediate, felsic. So you see 4 rocks over there. The first one is ultramafic, then mafic, then intermediate, and then felsic. Okay, so study these, just Google keyword and see what comes. Okay, so you will have some sort of knowledge, because these are important terms to understand. Okay,
I think this was even asked in civil services JS paper 1, right? The primary rocks So that is sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, igneous rocks, right? This is what sir is saying.
Yeah, just
Okay,
Google,
let's-
right? See what gets will do, so that at least terms are familiar to you. Okay. And find out, like I have written, for example, this mafic, second one, basalt gabbro. What is difference between basalt and gabbro? What is difference between andesite and diorite? What is difference between rhyolite and granite? This is like all over less than 1 hour job. Okay, you can do.
All right. So any other doubt, anyone? Otherwise, we will end the session here, right? And this session will also be available in YouTube. All right. So I think, sir, we can end the session.
Yes.
I think there are no more questions. So thank you all, right? Thank you all, and like irrespective of whether you join the course or not, but just do not give up. If you have got the chance of writing IFS mains in 2022, you should consider yourself very lucky, because the prelims is getting pretty uncertain, and this year you have a very good number of seats, right? So each one of you stand a chance. Just put your heart and soul to the preparation. Prepare very intensively, and miracles do happen in IFS mains. This is based on our experiences, right? So all the very best. Prepare very well, and we hope you all to see in the final list. So we'll end the session here. Thank you all for coming, right?